You love him, you just don't trust him to be around your kids without you around. Okay, we can use the voice disguiser for this. 1-855-BERT-SHOW. Totally honest, right? Nobody's going to know it's you, but are you a mom that, you know what, you love your husband, but bless him, you do not trust him around the kids alone? So it was Kylie Kelce here that is bringing this up because she has herself a brand new podcast, and she is the wife of Jason Kelce, who is the brother of Travis Kelce,
who is dating Taylor Swift.
Okay, so it's getting complicated here, and everybody's getting in on the podcast now, man. So now Kylie has done one, and it's really good. I mean, she's very, very honest, and when you're this honest, it's going to come with controversy. And she did that, that's for sure, just a couple of days ago when she was talking about herself and talking about her husband and their arrangement when it comes to the kids and her always scheduling childcare if he's around or not.
It's well known that you watch the kids while Jason podcasts. Will Jason be watching the girls while you do this show? How do I say this nicely? No. When I have to do something, coaching, something for Eagles Autism Foundation, podcast, a doctor's appointment even, I will schedule childcare. My husband could tell me 72 times that he is going to be in the house during the times when I have to leave it. I will still schedule childcare. And it is not a knock on my husband. My husband is busier than he has ever been. He is working so hard and really grinding right now. And so I just make sure that I'm covered. And if that means that he's at the house and someone else is there, then that's what we have going on. He will not be watching the kids. He's not watching them right now. I think he's in meetings.
Okay, so I'm only going to stick up for him in this one area. That he is working from home.
Yeah.
So if he is working in the house, I used to struggle with this with my kids also, is that it's very difficult on a family because in most families, dad or mom go to work or whatever and they're not in the house. So when you have young kids and dad is in the house, but he's working, it's very difficult to try to explain that to him. Like, this is no different than me going to an office, except I'm here. So I don't know if that's what she's talking about or not, but to me, that's the only defense.
And it's very, so it's funny because you see the headlines and you read the story and it actually presents very differently when you listen to the actual clip and you get the context of it. Because when I first saw the headline, I'm like, we are rewarding this man's incompetency. And it's not just his fault. It's both of their faults, mostly his fault. If she feels like she can't leave the kids alone in his presence without having childcare, like, you got to hold your person, the other parent accountable for knowing how to take care of the kids when you're not there. But listening to her talk, it sounds like, okay, it's not that she's running an errand and leaving him a home alone, a home with the kids to watch the kids. It's actually like, no, he's working too. And so I took it a little differently hearing it than just reading the headline, but had the way I took it before, if you are unable to leave your children alone with your spouse without childcare, you both have created this situation and you both have to be held accountable, because I wanted to play this in conjunction with the clip because it's the timing is impeccable, and I think it's so important for especially moms to hear this. Peaceful Mama Bear said that we have to step back and stop being controlling so dads can do things on their own.
He bathed the baby on his night off, and I corrected something that he was doing. I can't remember what it was, whether it was the way he was holding it or something. And the next day when Matt was back at work, Mum said to me, Bridie, do not become the expert in that baby. I said, what do you mean? And she's a midwife, nurse, and mother of 4. So she knows what she's talking about. She said, you become the expert in that baby, you'll be the expert in the toddler. And then when it's school time, you'll be the expert in the kid. You'll be the one they call everyone to school, call you for everything. Your husband will turn to you for everything. You will end up running this household and making every single decision. And it starts now. And she says, he's doing a great job. And when you correct him, all you're doing is undermining his confidence. And so if you don't want to be the expert in the baby, you have to let him do it his way. And for the rest of your parenting life, you are going to see him do things that you think are the most insane things that you've ever seen in your life. He's going to bathe that baby in a way that makes absolutely no sense to you. Not your problem. Don't correct it. You have to let him do it, because, and I think that's very sympathetic as well to the men. And also goes back to there being nothing inherently biological in me or in Matt about the baby. It's all about practice.
Y'all are liars. There's nobody calling saying that they totally and completely don't trust your husbands with the kids. 1-855-BERT show.
You know, the more I hear from Kylie Kelce, the more I like her, because all I hear is a spouse that is completely supportive of her other working spouse and puts measures in place to make sure that he is successful and that the children are successful. There's nothing wrong. What I imagine happens is he'll be at home and then there's some emergency meeting that he has to attend and everyone can meet right now, and he's scrambled. Like, I'm guessing something like that happened over and over again. And I know this because this happens in my life where my afternoon's free. And then all of a sudden, oh God, all hands on deck meeting got to happen now. Hey, Chad, can you take the kids? So I think it's lovely. This mama bear chick, I have an issue with her. Okay. If you want to be, I understand what she's saying, not correcting people, like if they just bathe the kid differently from you, if there's no wrong answer. But if you're doing something that is actually wrong, I'm going to correct you, and it is your job to be an expert just like me.
Give an example.
Well, you have access to the same book. So let's say like the husband is, or the wife, like whoever your spouse is, heating the formula wrong to feed the baby, right? Oh, you're going to let him figure it out by himself? Nah, he has access to the same materials and the same books. I'm going to step in and correct it. And I'm going to do that over and over again. And if he continues to be incompetent, I'm going to step up and say, here are the books. You need to read them because, again, I'm not better than you. I just did the work, and it's time for you to do the work too. But I'm not going to let the kids suffer because of that.
But how often? So parenting is there's a lot of subjectiveness to it. One person's way may not be another person's way. Sleep training, not sleep training, etc. So do you think we can get caught up in my way is the right way, and maybe there is another way to do it that is okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you know your partner best. Like, I'm lucky. I have one who does put in the work, and a lot of my friends, their partners do as well. So I don't know what it's like to have a partner who's not pulling their weight, but for sure there are ways where it's in your head, you're like, this is the only way, and that's not accurate. I think that's what she's referring to. It just sounded like pandering to a spouse who wasn't willing to step up to the plate. Like, oh, are you going to let him make mistakes? Who's letting you make mistakes?
Dude, that is so funny because I took it the complete opposite way.
Hold on a second, you guys. May's on hold and she's trying to get on. Hey, May, good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning. Okay, the initial question was, who is listening that just absolutely does not trust their husband with the kids?
I absolutely do not trust my husband. Let's just face it. They're like another kid for you to begin with. You have to tell them exactly what to do, how to do it, because most of the time they just are clueless. And yes, we are clueless too. As a first-time mom, I think I was definitely clueless in many ways. But our intuition is never wrong, I think. And man, I will speak for my husband. He was just clueless, period. And everything from getting him ready to go to the daycare or to go to, out and about, and he would get the milk, or he would get 3 or 4 things in his backpack. And I'm just like, I don't trust you to take care of our kid. Like, you can't, you just don't have your head straight, or I don't know. I do trust him in other ways. I do trust him when I'm around.
If the mother of my kids came to me and said that, I would do so much self-evaluation. Yes, I'd be offended initially. But then you have to do a search on yourself and go, okay, why is it? What have I done to create that situation? Unless she's completely controlling.
There's that possibility as well.
Then there's that possibility.
The Bert Show.